Hello, welcome to Very Curious Place Halloween Horror Fest. No clue what the day would be, so we're not doing that anymore. But we're going to talk about 10 mysterious. I can't talk. We're going to talk about why I can't talk. No, we're not going to talk about that. We don't want to talk about that. 10 mysterious monsters of North America. And here's hoping that I actually brought out all my papers. Yes, I did. We're starting with number 10. The Pukwudgie? The Pukwudgie. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. But anyway, the Pukwudgies come from like a folklore of the Native American, oh dear lord, Wampanoag Indians. I'm going to be butchering a lot of words today on this one. Bear with me. It's a troll-like creature, standing only 2 to 3 feet tall. This doesn't sound scary. They apparently look like humans, except for their noses, fingers, and ears are larger. They have smooth gray skin, and they occasionally glow. Okay. According to the lore, they have a lot of really cool abilities, including the ability to appear and disappear at will, transforming into half human, half porcupine. What the hell would that look like? Okay. Using magic, which is always cool, and creating fire from nothing. Also, always cool. Oh. Don't mess with the Pukwudgie if you see one. Apparently, they're kind of tricksters. So if you mess with one, they are going to make your life a living hell. Don't mess with one. Don't. Just leave it alone. Just walk away. The most recent sightings have been in Freedom Fall River State Forest in Massachusetts. Also in the Watsupa Reservation. Oh, okay. There have also been several unexplained suicides in the park that they think were because of Pukwudgies pushing people off cliffs. Don't mess with Pukwudgies. They're apparently very serious little troll things. So yeah, let's not go there. That's number 10. Number 9 is the, oh good grief. I did these a long time ago. I did these back in September and I haven't looked at them since then, so I'm kind of forgetting. I kind of forgot what I printed out. So bear with me. Number 9 is the Pope Lick Monster. Apparently the Pope Lick Monster lives at a railroad overpass under a trestle in the Norfolk Southern Railway, where it crosses the Pope Lick Creek in Fisherville neighborhood of Louisville, Kentucky. It's very specific, this monster. The monster is said to look like a man from the waist up, but with 2 horns on its head and the lower body of a goat. So you should be very clear on what it looks like when you see it, because it's gonna stand out. And the fact that it's called the Pope Lick Monster and you would have to be crossing Pope Lick Creek, it's pretty much a given there. According to the legend, the creature is a siren song, or a type of hypnosis to lure people onto the trestle. Oh, good grief, just in time to be run over by a train. I really should have reread this before I did this. It's been a while since I read these, so, you know. Apparently, whether by fault of the creature or their own curiosity, people have been dying on that spot since 1929, which is not funny. It's just, you know, I don't know. Anyway, number 8 is the, good grief, Glaucus. The Glaucus of Glastonbury. No, the Glaucus of Glastonbury. Oh, good grief, what is that bug? Good lord. That thing is freaking huge. No, no, no. I don't want you over here. No, no, no. Go away. Go away. Go away. No. Go. Sorry. There was a very big, very scary looking bug coming at me. So that's what the cane's for. Okay. So the Glaucus of Glastonbury. Good grief. And that's in Connecticut. So the Glaucus of Glastonbury, Connecticut. Apparently first made the headlines in 1930, the winter of 1939. Gotta be specific. It is described to be a mix of a dog, a cat, and a bear. Oh, good lord, the bug is back. Damn it. Oh, we're gonna leave it alone if it stays over there. So it's a mix of a dog, cat, and a bear. Good. It has blood-curdling screams, could be heard at night. It's the big bug. Sightings were all made in a wooded area in the eastern and southern parts of town. Two theories about the creature's identity were that it was a lynx or a mountain lion. During a hurricane in 1938, a mountain lion had escaped a zoo in Manchester, Vermont, so that's true. Small dogs were found mutilated or just disappeared altogether. Sheep and goats were also found dead. In July 1939, a huge brown dog was captured in a bear trap. Ouch. And was then shot and killed. That's terrible. That's terrible. They killed the doggy. It was then shot and killed. Shame on you people. It was a dog. The local newspaper announced the mysterious Glaucus is no more. Regardless of the what the newspaper said, the sightings continued. So you just killed that poor dog for nothing. I hope you're proud of yourself. Shame on you. That poor puppy never did anything. It didn't ask to get caught in that bear trap. Heathens. So, anyway. So not long after the Glaucus' supposed death, there were reports of a creature in Massachusetts where livestock had been slaughtered but not eaten. But not eaten. Okay. So, sightings were reported all over the Northeast until after World War II when they abruptly stopped. So, don't know where the Glaucus is. Something smelled, just came through the air. Ooh. Oh, this is number 7. Igopogo. I think I've heard of this one. Okay, the Igopogo is said to be a cousin of the Ogopogo in Lake... Good grief. Who names stuff? Cousin of the Ogopogo in Lake Okanagan in British Columbia, except the Igopogo lives in Lake Simcoe in Ontario, but it's very rarely ever seen. It's probably smart. I mean, it's apparently described to have a neck looking like a stovepipe, a head that looks like a dog. Apparently the descriptions have been fairly consistent, so neck of a stovepipe, head of a dog. It seems to be more mammal than marine-like Nessie from Loch Ness, Scotland. It's been described as a seal-like animal anywhere from 12 to 70 feet long. Good grief. It has several dorsal fins and a fish-like tail. The dog-like face has a gaping mouth and prominent eyes. Sightings have become so rare that it was thought to have died until it was seen and filmed in March of '91. So, Igopogo is also called the Beaverton Bessie by the residents of Beaverton on the eastern shore of Lake Simcoe. Others call it the Kempenfelt Kelly after Kempenfelt Bay, which has had the most sightings and is the deepest part of the lake. So that's number 7, Igopogo. Wait, the interesting names. You wonder who names these things? Number 6, melonheads. Really should have reread these before I started this video. Melonheads are humans that roam. Wait, what? I really should rewrite, reread what I put out, what I fix up. The Melonheads are humans that roam Lake County in Ohio near the towns of Chardon and Kirtland. Okay. Um, there are apparently many different stories about the origins of the Melonheads, but one of the favorites is about secret government experiments. Because those are always the favorites. You know, that and aliens. Um, so, there is no theory as to what the government was testing. Probably don't want to know. Um, but the outcome was humans with enormous heads. The Melonheads were all sent to a secret location in the woods in the middle of the night. It was said to be somewhere near Windsor Road. They were taken good care of, but occasionally they would get curious the outside world and wander out at night. So, they were apparently easily scared of things they saw and would run away very fast if they were scared or saw anything to be scared of. Legend has it that they become aggressive on nights with a full moon. Fun. But you will be safe as long as you wear dark colored clothing. Okay. There have been some claims that they are always aggressive, regardless of what the moon is like, but those are just some things that people say. So, number 6, Melonheads. Number 5, that's probably the funniest so far, honestly. Number 5, Ohio Grassman. Ohio Grassman is basically described similarly to Bigfoot, aka Sasquatch. So it's to be similar, kind of like a cousin or a relative of Bigfoot. The difference is not what they look like, but how they act and their behavior. So the Grassman seems to be more social and generally seen in groups, 4 or 5 rather than alone. Mothers with babies have been seen. They've been seen a lot in cornfields. I guess, food. Eyewitnesses just have described the creature as 5 to 10 feet tall, but more normally 6 to 7. The footprints range from 10 to 20 inches. Weight estimates are around 300 to 1,000 pounds, so big guys, big girls. It has a pointed head and a face with a snub nose and red, deep-set eyes. Creepy. The chest and shoulders are very wide. It growls and barks and breathes heavily. So it's part dog and it has, and breathing issues. I don't know. It gives off a strong, unpleasant odor of rotten eggs. This hair has been described as shaggy and coal black or blackish brown. A 16-inch strand of hair was found and taken to Ohio State to be analyzed. The scientists there were unable to determine the species the hair belonged to. So, there's been a lot of sightings of the Ohio Grassman, so you never know. Number 6. Good, great. No, not number 6, number 4. I lost count. That's not my strong point. Number 4 is the Snallygaster. Apparently a man named James Harding was the first person to say he had seen the Snallygaster in Frederick County, Maryland in early February of 1909. So the description was a long, sharp beak, enormous wings, claws, and only one eye right in the middle of its forehead. Okay. But they've had reports of it in New Jersey, Ohio, Maryland, West Virginia. It has also been described as a cross between a vampire and a tiger, and the noise it makes is shrill and screeching. So, Interesting. Apparently, at one point, there was such a fuss about sightings that President Theodore Roosevelt considered postponing a European trip to lead a party to try and catch it. The Smithsonian Institute apparently has also been interested in capturing it. Oh well. Apparently, there's never been any issue of the creature attempting to harm anyone, um, but people would run away from it anyway. So, the Snallygaster comes from the German Schnellgeist, a Pennsylvania Dutch term meaning quick spirit. Oh, okay. Apparently, he wasn't that quick of a spirit because he met his sticky end. He was flying in Washington County near Frog Hollow when the smell of a huge vat of moonshine attracted him. Um, while circling overhead, he was overcome by the fumes and fell into a 2,500-gallon vat. Jesus. A little while after that, two revenuers came to the scene and were shocked by the dead monster in the vat. They exploded 500 pounds of dynamite under the still. It destroyed the vat, the body of the Snallygaster, and John Barleycorn's workshop. So apparently the Snarlygaster is dead, but there's no proof of the Snarlygaster being killed because they blew it up with a really overkill situation. I mean, it's 500 pounds of dynamite. What were you thinking? That's overkill. It was already dead. It's weird. Okay, number 3 is the Ogopogo, which we already kind of touched on with the Igopogo, its cousin. So the Ogopogo is a lake monster similar to Nessie from the Loch Ness. Or Nessie, the Loch Ness monster, you know. It's not as famous as Nessie, though. I mean, everybody has to admit, Nessie is the most famous? The most famous lake monster. Apparently, it's in the lake Okanagan in British Columbia, Canada. Apparently, there's a lot more proof and documentation-wise for Ogopogo than there is actually for Nessie. Apparently, there's a lot of stuff on that. Hundreds of years ago, the Indians of the area called the monster Natika. It's said to be, yeah, no, I'm right. It's said to be bloodthirsty. Demanded a live sacrifice in order for a traveler to cross the lake. I think I'd just go around, honestly, if it was me. So the Indians that wanted to journey across the lake would kill a small animal, such as a chicken, at the water's edge and then toss it into the lake. The description of Ogopogo is pretty constant, described as having multiple humps and a dark color. The exact color kind of varies from, I think, person to person, from anywhere from green to brown to black. The head has been said to be as many different shapes, including an alligator, a horse, a seal, a sheep, and a snake. So apparently some people have said it has horns or ears, and others say it doesn't. So Lake Okanagan is 84 miles long and 2.5 to 3 miles wide. Apparently the average depth is 249 feet. But the very deepest part of the lake is 840 feet. In 91, a remote search was done of the lake using high-tech equipment on a mini sub. It's very high-tech, but they didn't come with it. They didn't find anything. There have been a lot of different theories about Ogopogo, from manatee to really can't talk. From manatee to prehistoric whale, none of those have been proven. So, just saying. And I touched on this earlier, the Beast of Bray Road is number 2 on our list of top 10. Okay, the first reported sighting of the Beast of Bray Road on the rural road outside of Elkhorn, Wisconsin was in 1936. Does a bug bother me? It's a little gnat. So, and now it's stuck on my finger. Ew. So, outsort, outskirts of Elkhorn, Wisconsin in 1936. It's got the nickname of the Wisconsin werewolf because Wisconsin, as I told you in a previous video that I made right before this, is said to have been the origin of the myth of the werewolf. So werewolves were said to have started in Wisconsin and then just exploded throughout the rest of the world. So there you go. Now you know where werewolves originally come from. Still gotta ask, what's up, Wisconsin? Why so many werewolves? So, you know. Apparently, there have been reports in 64, 72, and 89. But the reports in 89 came out of Delavan, which is about 15 minutes southwest of Elkhorn. So, apparently something's been moving around. The first reporting of the werewolf to be widely publicized was on Halloween 1999. Sorry, something was biting me on my leg. It itches. Good grief. Doristine Gippone. I apologize, Doristine. I'm sure that's not how your name is pronounced, but I'm winging it here. Apparently was driving, Doristine, or we'll call her Doris, was driving down Bray Road on her way to Delavan from Elkhorn, near the intersection of Hospital Road with Hospital Road. She momentarily took her eyes off the road to change radio stations, never a good idea, and suddenly felt a thump. That's why you don't take your eyes off the road. Come on, Doris, don't do that. So, she thought she'd hit something, stopped to investigate. She found nothing, but heard a sound coming from the woods. Doristine turned to see a huge hairy creature rushing towards her. She jumped into her car and attempted to speed away. Apparently, the beast of Bray Road leapt onto her hood. This was the point where I would be losing my ever-loving mind. If Doristine didn't, then you know what? Props to you. Serious props to you. I would have lost it. If some big fuzzy thing ran out of the woods, jumped on my hood, I would have lost. Oh shit. I would have. Yeah, totally gone. But apparently it leapt onto the hood. It was wet and it slid off. Now, I don't know if the hood was wet and it slid off, or the beast was wet and it slid off, but something was wet and the beast of Bray Road apparently slid off. Apparently when it slid off, she just got the hell out really fast. So, good deal. I would have totally done the same thing. Apparently, after she went public with her story, a lot more people started coming forward. I'm guessing they probably hadn't said anything before because they were like, I don't want people to think I'm crazy because I told them that a really big werewolf looking thing tried to attack me. So, yeah. So apparently people started coming forward to corroborate. I cannot talk. What she was saying. Apparently the description of it has been pretty consistent all the way across the bar. Human-like in shape, but covered in coarse brown or black hair or fur. Yellow eyes, pointed ears, walking upright. It is approximately 5 feet tall, wide chest, and the tracks it leaves behind look like wolf prints, but really larger than a normal wolf. There was a sighting in 1992 on Highway H, 6 miles southwest of Bray and Hospital Road. So, yeah. I don't know, that one's kind of like a, you know. So that's number 2. And now, number 1 on our top 10. Did I say this was called? I forgot. Top 10 mysterious monsters of North America. Number 1 is the Jersey Devil. pretty sure everyone has heard of the Jersey Devil, even in just passing, even if you don't know really what it's about. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of the Jersey Devil. And you've heard some theory of it at least. Okay, the creature is said to have The creature is said to have roamed the New Jersey pinelands and nearby areas for over 260 years. There have been well over 2,000 reported sightings. There have been several different legends about the birth of the Jersey Devil. I love this one. I do. I love it. One is that a woman in Leeds Point, known only as Mrs. Shrouds, wished for her next child to be a devil. She eventually did have another baby, and it was deformed. The family kept the child hidden from the world until one day its arms turned into wings and it flew out of the chimney, and the family never saw it again. So, and that's the one I heard, and it's creepy and it's kooky and it's kind of fun. A few documents about sightings before 1909. One was from a man named Commodore Stephen Decatur, a naval hero. Another was a man named Joseph Bonaparte, brother of Napoleon Bonaparte. During the week of January 16th to the 23rd of 1909, over 1,000 people saw the creature all over Philadelphia and South New Jersey, or South Jersey, or however you want to call it. There were many unrecognizable hoof prints in their yards all over the area. The creature was described by Nelson Evans of Gloucester as being 3.5 feet tall, with a collie dog head, a horse face. I'm not sure how that works. A collie dog head, but a horse face. I'm not sure how that one works. It walked on its back legs. Its short front legs had paws. And when Mr. Nelson yelled at it, the creature barked and then flew away. So it's got a collie head, a horse face, and it barks. Okay. The most sightings have seen in a short period of time, but the Jersey Devil is still seen, even now, in 2018. Still being seen. Do I have any, real reports of it? No, I don't. But that doesn't mean it's not being seen. So, yeah. But those are the top 10 mysterious monsters of North America. And I would like to thank the... I don't remember what site this is on. I'm lost. Okay, well, I had the site written down. This was updated. The information that I got was updated in 2016. The author's name is Lori Gross. I had the website, but apparently I lost it. So thank you very much, Lori Gross, for the information. I appreciate it. And that was the top 10 mysterious monsters of North America. As always, much love from Monty, a very curious place. Stay spooky, sweeties. Bye.